say after family members forced open their door, they found out that the assailants had severed the heads of the two while no item had been taken from their room. The Ochami and his wife, Nana Hima, who is also the Oba Hima of Ejumaku Ntumi, left behind 2 children. The bodies of the deceased have been deposited at the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital morgue while the Central Regional Police Command is going on with investigations. And we continue, and 5 people, including 3 guards from the JASO office of the Forestry Commission in the Ashanti region, have died in a car accident. The incident occurred after an STC bus collided head-on with a taxi cab which had overtaken another vehicle on the Kumasi-Accra highway. Bodies of the deceased have been deposited at the Stewart Hospital morgue in Yawkwe.
Narrating circumstances leading to the accident, Konongo Divisional Police Commander Superintendent Ohene Buedi Bosman said the taxi coming from Jaso was going to Takrady and the STC bus was also coming from Accra direction to Jaso, and the taxi driver overtook a car and unfortunately they collided and they all ran into a ditch, and 5 passengers on board the taxi died instantly. They are at a mortuary. He said 3 of the deceased persons have been identified. Now, a tanker truck traveling on the Tamakosumbo Road a while ago burst its tire. Now, it ran into a parked tipper truck at the Star Oil filling station a few meters from the Fienya police station.
The driver's mate, who was trapped in the vehicle, was helped out by onlookers after being trapped for almost 30 minutes. He has since been sent to the Tema General Hospital for further treatment. An eyewitness, John Nkansa, spoke to City News.
I'm driving this truck. I just saw this truck from here coming, and once the entire blast one time, so driver lose control and just enter this car.
The tanker blast time?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Let's do some other stories. And the Pharmacy Council has threatened to take the unusual step of restricting the supply of certain medicines in the country to reduce its negative impact on the general well-being of Ghanaians. According to the council, the irresponsible use of medicines such as tramadol and codeine has become a crucial global problem with dire consequences. And there is more in this report.
The harmful consequences of irrational use of medicines include unnecessary adverse events, rapidly increasing antimicrobial resistance, and the spread of blood-borne infections, all of which causes serious illness, mortality, and cost billions of dollars globally every year. Speaking on the theme, Responsible Use of Medicines, a tool for nation building, at the 8th Annual General Meeting of Pharmacy Technicians Association of Ghana in Koforidua, the Deputy Registrar of the Pharmacy Council, Dr. Daniel Amenin Dankwa, attributed the increase in antimicrobial resistance in the country to the abuse of medicines.
So that we say that if there is any issue of activity, it's the Food and Drug Board, let's leave it for the Food and Drug Board. No, it doesn't end there. It ends in your hands, and in the hands of the patient who is going to take the medicine. And so let's be conscious about safety of medicine at all times.
Dr. Daniel Amenin Dankwa also revealed that the Pharmacy Council will implement a number of effective, multifaceted interventions, which includes restrictions on the supply of medicines by only registered companies and practitioners with valid permits, and also conduct a mandatory licensure exams for technicians.
Last and not the least is making medication optimization part of our routine practice. We must ensure that there is some professional competencies that can be attributed to the group, so that if you are a technician, we expect that certain minimum competencies must exist in all of you. You are to call these described and the law will be enforced on you.
On the issue of recent abuse of tramadol and codeine by the youth, Professor Christian Ejari of the Department of Pharmaceutics at the Faculty of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Science at the KNUST called on Pharmacy Council and Food and Drugs Authority to deal with the importers of the drugs.
Where these medicines are coming from should be checked, especially our porous borders. we should be able to monitor, empower and educate, especially the SEPs and then those who are in charge of what is it? For these drugs are not manufactured in the country. If we're able to do that, and then effective monitoring and regulation by the Food and Drug Board and then the Pharmacy Council.
The Director of Pharmaceutical Services at the Ministry of Health, Madam Lutrod Gansa, revealed that the imminent closure of unaccredited facilities, which will be carried out by the Ministry in collaboration with the Pharmacy Council, will help sanitize the health system.
Ghanaians they are paying tax and they deserve better. And therefore, I have been urging that where there's no suitable pharmaceutical healthcare provider at any facility, that facility should not work. The reason is that it is even in the law. At 857 Part clearly specifies that whenever there is pharmaceutical services, there must be a pharmaceutical care provider, and that is the law. And it's just that Ghanaians or all of us are not obeying the law as we should, and I think that is what I'm trying to drive at.
You're still watching the City Newsroom live on City TV. My name is Nathan Kwao. Coming up, thousands of trainee teachers register for upcoming licensure exams after initial protestation. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Witness the twisted and tangled story of betrayal, greed, vengeance, and love in the award-winning Brazil Avenue. Carmenia, a woman led by greed, gets rid of her husband, who is Rita's father, and sends Rita away to a filthy landfill. Rita finds love in Batata, but they are soon separated by adoption into different families, far away from each other. Many years later, all paths cross again, as Rita, now a renowned chef, seeks to pay back her stepmother for taking away her happiness as a child. It's the story of twists, turns, suspense, and thrilling action in Brazil Avenue. Brazil Avenue, coming soon only on City TV. Brazil Avenue.
Good evening, this is The Point of View. We're live on City TV.
Tune in to The Point of View, Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. as Bernard Avlet takes the news further. He will bring the right guests, ask them the relevant questions, and get you the real insights you need on the big stories for the day.
We need taxes to run the economy. How do you do it sensibly and have the least pernicious effect in terms of cascading through the economy? And I think that is the thinking that is required. It's not a denial that we need taxes, you know, and I think that is the difference in the two administrations.
The Point of View with Bernard Avlet, Monday and Wednesday nights, only on TV.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, poor electricity supply is currently affecting healthcare delivery in the Akontombra district, as personnel at the district health center say irregular power supply is hindering laboratory work. The Akontombra district planning officer, Jeffrey Scott, said the impact goes beyond the health center since the whole district has no electricity company office or station to even file a complaint. They spoke to City News' Western Regional Correspondent, Akwesi J. Anim.
The Akontombra district is in the northern part of the western region with estimated population of about 92,000. Though the district was created in 2008, the district can only boast of just this health center without a medical doctor to serve the 92,000 inhabitants. Beside the inefficient medical equipment at the facility, the absence of a refrigerator to store blood, this laboratory technician tells me the difficulties in getting regular supply of electricity to conduct basic laboratory tests to aid diagnosis.
The light will be on, the next minute it will be off. So if you know that, okay, I'm supposed to run this test, I will need power for this number of period, like 40 minutes. You start the process and then you get stuck along the way because the light will go off. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Checks in the town on the impact of the situation reveals far-reaching consequences on general businesses as captured by this coal store operator and a seamstress.
Kakra ye first ye a machine cool storm. It me first na kakra na so next year nani to me say na to na ko fa for sa machine po mutimi do that and say I say na si ho no.
Jeffrey Scott, the Akontombra district planning officer, attempt to assign reasons to the development.
We have our power being saved under Jaboso. And Jaboso supply our nearby district that yes, Bia East and Bia West. So according to the ECG, the load on the transformer serving all of us is too much. So the listing, the power goes off. It is even better now where we have 3 times power outages within a day. Sometimes you can have as many as 11 times, and even getting to midnight, you'll still sleep in the dark. One transformer serving 4 districts at a time. We will not expect anything than what we are seeing now. There is no efficiency. We have gone to the ECG several times, so we expect the ECG at least to be around. So that during problems, we can directly walk to their office. Because from Akontombra to the nearest ECG office, which is in Jaboso, is almost 60 kilometers. And they don't expect all of us to bring our complaints by traveling 60 kilometers just to access services, which we think they have not been fair to a district which was created all the way 2008, 9 years down the line.
For City Newsroom, I am Akwesi Ejenim, Akontombra.
Let's get to the Upper East region, where some farmlands along the White Volta have been submerged following the spillage of the Bagri Dam. The affected farms cultivated crops like rice, maize and pepper, among other crops. Speaking to City News, the Upper East Regional National Disaster Management Organization Director of Operations, Paul Wooma, warned farmers to stay upland until the levels recede.
You know, when floodwaters occupy a large field of land, you can't do any detailed assessment until the floodwater recedes. So for now, we can just do a best eye view assessment and report that crops of maize, watermelon, pepper, green pepper, rice farms have been submerged. But how many of these hectares have been submerged? We cannot do it now because the flood waters have inundated the place and we cannot enter there and do a detailed assessment. So a rapid survey reports that farmlands have been submerged.
Any caution to farmers?
We continue to plead with farmers that life is precious than property. You first of all have life before property. No matter what, people dare flood waters And as I have always said, floodwaters are senseless. They can't think. They will sweep you away if you dare. They will not know that you have gone to Agribank to pick a loan to do farming. The shepherd boys, we are pleading that if you say you have local skills in swimming and you can hold the tails of animals to swim across, it is dangerous. You may be swept away by the floodwaters. Those who cross the Galaka River into Boko for farming and for market activity, we are pleading that they should just pause and save their lives. Afterwards, how long it is going to take? Very soon, the floodwaters will recede and they will continue their daily activities.
Now back here in Accra, the situation at Odona, a community at Circle, is disheartening as residents have to constantly go through the struggle of getting rid of water from gutters that flood their homes. Residents are blaming their plight on a contractor who, according to them, has blocked the path of the gutters with heaps of sand. City News' Nashika Caesar has more.
Odona, a community at Circle in Accra, is well known for being one of the worst flood-prone areas in the country. Over the years, there have been several reports of flooding in this area, resulting in the loss of several lives and property. The worst incident suffered here is the infamous June 3 disaster that claimed the lives of over 200 people. The low-lying nature of the lands in this area, indiscriminate dumping of refuse, coupled with poor drainage systems in the area, have been identified as contributing factors to the flooding. As a measure to curb floodwater from further devastating residents, government awarded a contract for the construction of a bridge. But according to residents, this construction has rather become a bother. They lament that heaps of sand at the construction site have blocked the gutter, such that water from the gutters flows freely into their homes, destroying their belongings and making life unbearable for them.
When he blocked the place, the whole residence became flooded because the water came back. It didn't have to wait to move, so it came back to people's houses. Anytime when it happens like this, people cannot even bath in their bathroom. They cannot come out of their house, rooms or their houses unless they step inside the water.
The gutter that they closed, that brought all the problems. Since from Friday or Thursday up to today. Through these steps, there's a step there and passes and enter my room. Okay, the water is coming out from the bathroom. You could see there's a bathroom over there. So because of the choke, so it passed through the bathroom to enter the house.
What am I Yenim so best start if ma they say. Yen so start if no de ba. Enti kwata nso ne bola ni nyina begu yesu wo yemfie mu. Ye kwaka ompene oni ye ntokwa. Enti ye na ni odi ye nganim ye kwofre no. Foma no oni ye ntokwa nra kwasi yenya baby ntina yenya baby mpo nton ade ni yedidi. Ye kwaka oni ye ntokwa. Asina yenga ye fa boys ni ye bo pa na ye si gwatanim e na boys ni tutu mu na asina nsu no bi etumi ko kakra enya nsu a wasanga be ye nsu no ba na e ba ye so enti ye sraban.
This is a real gutter. That's the main gutter from I think Asylum down all the way down here, and this thing has been disturbing us from this construction as they started. You can see yourself. The whole place is flooded with gutter. It's entering into our rooms and all that. It's bad.
Because I be I'm on a marketing crying. I'm on target because of raining tea. Oh, bar. And easy so much so my house so much target. And from my face, I don't know how I face it back. I see what I don't know.
I fell down this morning because of the water that they have closed. I fell down. I fell on the floor. So I've been to hospital. And I don't have bed. So they said that you go and pay 20 cents. I don't have it, so I have to come home. When I went down to the center that listen, he told me I came and saw the contractor. He said they are going to open the place. He just they haven't done it. I came to the house still. They are passed through the gutter. And that's my leg. What's that for?
Reporting for City News, I am Nashika Caesar.
This is
Nathan, this is unacceptable.
It is highly
In the national capital, 2018 on to 2019, and we are amen.
Look, the president says he wants to make this city the cleanest, and we are grappling with this. If it rains, now there are places in Accra where if it rains for 30 minutes, it's a nightmare.
No, I wonder what is going to happen if it rains, because this is just the mistake of one contractor. You understand? So you can imagine what will happen when the rains also pour in.
This particular contractor he needs to answer a few questions.
I wonder who he is and why we are still tolerating people like this. See that old man. This can't happen.
This is unacceptable. So please, we are calling on whoever is in charge to get some proper action.
Right. So now, if you live along or drive on the Adjingano to School Junction Road to its environs, you can soon heave a sigh of relief. This is because you will no longer inhale dust or dodge potholes on that 3.2-kilometer stretch of road.
The road has served as a major node connecting commuters from East Legon to Botre, Maijo, Anakrom, Santor, to Ashaiman, or even the Tema motorway. However, this major road has been in a deplorable state in previous years, making it a tortuous option. But you can expect a healthier neighborhood and a smoother one in a few months' time. And here's why.
Motorists can hardly drive at 30 kilometers per hour on the pothole-laced 3.2-kilometer stretch of road. The dusty road, with its bumpy ride, has been a major source of distress to both residents and road users.
We go slowly. So, and then our shops and then springs, we had these troubles.
But this narrative is changing as progress is made in dualizing the stretch of road. Small bridges connecting networks to the major road were all being done. In addition to the covered drains, pedestrian walkways along both sides of the road are taking shape. The development make these users happy.
Ghana contractor for you now to say, Akayembre, Yakwan first name bread, the Pia Ukosho. As always, Nina say, but the Siano, or Yano, Yawan Shemus, baby,
the good, the feeling and the good. The movie, I fine, says movie. When Mujimane, I find my bar. The Mujimane, and Yaji part.
The project is a pre-financed one undertaking by Ghanaian construction company Oswald Investments Limited. Its managing director Humphrey Williams tells City News his team has worked day and night in the last 6 months. He is confident the project will be completed long before its deadline.
In the next 3 months or so, when you are back here, you will see a massive change. You will see black on the ground. That presupposes that we are nearing the end. We'll be able to do 9 months, I'm sure. Highly optimistic.
What used to be a 6 by 6 meter culvert is now a 20 by 40 meter culvert to accommodate the dual carriage road. Contractors tell me that this drain will be dredged so that after this road is done, no matter the downpour, the road doesn't get flooded. For City Newsroom, Caleb Kuda reporting.
Now, moving on, despite the fierce opposition the teacher licensure exam has received, the National Teaching Council is reporting a high number of applicants. The council says 14,200 of the expected 20,000 trainees have registered. This has caused the NTC to postpone its initial Tuesday, September 4 registration deadline to Friday, 7th September.
The more the September 4 deadline for registration for the teacher licensure examinations drew closer, the more agitated the trainees became. In hopes of getting the examination cancelled, this group of trainees, calling themselves Friends from Colleges of Education, staged a demonstration in Kumasi to register their displeasure. With such actions in play, one would have expected only a handful of trainees registering for the examination. However, the National Teaching Council begs to differ. Dennis Osei Owusu is the PRO of the council.
We were anticipating 20,000, close to 15,000 to 20,000 people to register. But as we talk now, close to 16,000 voucher has been purchased, and as at now, 14,200 have registered. Initially, it was supposed to end today, that is 4th, tomorrow, that is 4th, but then we got to know that because of the misinformation out there, most of them were not ready. But today they've seen that it's a real thing and it's actually happening. So there's no way they are going to ignore. So most of them have started registering. You know, since it's a system that we're using, when there's pressure on the system, it becomes slow. So we got to know that it will deny most of them since there will be pressure on it. Yeah, so we extended it to 7th. So
trainees had earlier raised concerns about the lack of reading materials to help them prepare for the examination. The NTC now says that it has made such resources available online.
Now they have come to term that really what we started with them, it's something that is actually happening. So they are now doing the registration. Most of them have started registering. And I think they've accepted it, that it has come to stay, and that we directed them that they should go to our site, and just like what my brother suggested the other time, that we should get them some sample questions. We've done that. So if you go to our system, you get sample questions. So with material issue, it's dead and gone. Yeah, because it's sorted. I would like to advise them, you know, we've all been in school before. Aluta. Then those doing the aluta, they are the same people behind giving all the necessary information. Most of them saying we won't register, they've registered. And so if you're a student and you are still there saying somebody says we shouldn't register, everybody, all the quarters you go, they back this, because your mother associations that you join, they all back the idea that there should be licensure examination.
For the National Teaching Council, it comes as no surprise that the same trainees who are pushing against the licensure exams are registering for same. With this in place, all is set for the examinations come the 10th to the 12th of September 2018. Reporting for City News, my name is Ni Ama.
So still on this story, and the coordinator for licensure examination at the National Teaching Council, Mr. Francis Adekwesi, has joined us in studio to discuss the exam. Thank you very much, Francis, for your time.
Thank you very much, madam.
Well, so the licensure exam has been topping news for some time now. Quickly, just take us through what the licensure exam is and what exactly is going to happen.
Well, yeah, the National Teaching Council is mandated to register and license teachers. So, as part of the mandate, this year, the exam is going to be started. We've registered a number of students, those who want to be teachers this year. As of now, as a close of today, 18,428 teachers have registered. So we started sensitizing them. We went to colleges by colleges. We engaged stakeholders, university teachers, and then teacher unions. So everybody is aware of what is going to happen. So Monday, 10th to 12th September, the exam is going to be conducted in all colleges in the country.
So what exactly is it supposed to do? Why the licensure exam now?
Every profession in the nation requires a license. Talk about drivers, doctors, nurses, pharmacists, lawyers. So as teachers, you also need to license them to operate very well.
So that what will happen?
Yeah, because if you go outside the country, every country requires a teacher requires a license so that you can be allowed to teach. So when they travel outside, they even come back, they send letters to NTC to give them letters of professional standing before they allow them to teach.
So what has necessitated, for this? Why are we doing this now? Have you noticed that, for instance, the quality of students that are coming out is not up to standard, and so you probably want to look at those who are teaching them? Could this be a factor?
Yeah, you see, many people just enter into the profession without even getting the required skills to teach. After I say, somebody says, let me go and teach. He's not a teacher. Somebody has done BSc, has done this, but they are now teaching. So you want to know the real teachers in the system who can deliver quality teaching to our peoples in the schools.
Right, so are we going to have those coming out from the universities and the ones coming out from the teacher training colleges write the same exam?
Yes.
All right.
The same examination.
Right. So if we have 18,000 people, you know, registered already out of 20,000, which I you know, in a way, I shut up because looking at the numbers, only 20,000 people. Why were they protesting?
Yeah, the colleges are producing more than, as of now, the statistic is about 16,000. We have about 5 universities in the nation. Most of them are producing teachers. So all of them should register if they want to teach, take teaching as their profession. So if all the candidates from the colleges pass the examination and register, we have 16,000.
Okay.
Then Winneba, UCC, UDS, they are also producing teachers. So the protests, they are listening to what is going on in the media, the false news that is going on, which is not coming from NTC.
Which false news? They
are saying that the exams has been suspended, which is not true.
Okay.
They are saying that
it's just been extended. The deadline has been extended.
As for the deadline, it has been extended to 7th of this month. That is Friday, for them to close the registration. But you should not listen to any false news. You should go on and register because the examination is coming on Monday.
Right. So who is supervising this?
It is NTC.
Okay. And then how is the exam going to be like?
We have 3 parts. Monday, they're going to write the essential skills, which is basically about the classroom practices, in how the teacher should behave in the classroom and then in their communities. And then we have the basic, that is literacy, basic grammar, comprehension and composition. And then we have basic computation, because the teacher needs to know some little mathematics, because he will do mark exercises, do assessment. He needs these basic computation skills so that he can be able to do this for the learners. So it is not something difficult. We are not inclined to fail anybody, but we need to test them on these skills so that they can function well in the classroom.
Right. So if you get more than 20,000 people turning up to write the exam, what happens? Are you prepared for people like that? Where are they going to be sitting? I mean, how is the preparation like?
Yeah, we are, as of now, we have identified 39 colleges.
Yeah.
They've given us the number that they can take, which is more than the number that you can even write the examination. They've given the statistics that they can sit in the colleges and write the examination.
How many people do they say can sit
No,
there?
every college gave us the number that he can. Some say 900, some say 600, some say 500. Depending upon the facilities that they have in the college. So as of now, if we have even 40,000, we can get places for them to write the examination. We have nearby, if the colleges are full, we have nearby secondary schools who we can send the teachers there to go and write the examination.
And all these preparations have been made?
It has been made. Everything is perfect.
All right, now quickly before you go, so this means that a person will receive, a teacher will get the license, so it also means that the license can be revoked.
Oh yes.
What will make you revoke a teacher's license?
You see, we have the code of conduct of a teacher. Assuming a teacher go and impregnates a school child, like it happened in some secondary schools, the license can be revoked. In fact, a committee will sit and look into the case, and if the teacher is found culpable, the license can be revoked.
All right, thank you very much, Francis, for your time.
Thank you, madam.
All right, so we've been talking to the coordinator for licensure examination at the National Teaching Council, Francis Adekwesi, who tells us that all is set for the exam to take place on Monday. Moving on, the Ghana National Association of Teachers has raised concerns over the influx of private schools into the country's education system. According to research conducted by the body, it has found out that many of these schools compromise heavily on quality, a situation which it describes as worrying. There is more in the following report.
Education's union in Ghana, affiliated to Education International, have expressed concern about the increasing number of low-fee for-profit schools in the country's education space, a trend it believes is affecting the quality of education. These schools, run by education entrepreneurs mainly for profit, offer low-cost education for the poor, charging fixed daily amounts in place of a lump sum school fees. The unions believe the emergence of these low-cost private schools is a cause for concern, which is also as a result of government's neglect of its duty to provide free quality education at the basic level for all Ghanaian children. Here are some of the findings from a research conducted by the unions on the matter.
We realize that the teachers are mainly SSS graduates, and they pay them part-free or a very meager sums. In fact, between 200 and 250 monthly. That is just so meager. So the teachers are not motivated to even last in the school for long. Parents who do not have money, you can't have money at all times. So when you don't have, if it affects your child, he goes there, he is sacked. So some are able to sit in the house for weeks before the parents are able to get the money, and then they enter school. That is not good enough. So there is that knowledge gap.
The Director of Education International, Angelo Gavreletos, expressed worry at the situation.
Privatisation of education is driven by the profit motive, and we say that the profit motive has no place in the provision of education, which is a public good, a social good and a human right. Governments must fulfil their obligation to properly and adequately fund free, quality, universally accessible public education for all.
Speaking to City News, the Director of Research for Ghana National Association of Teachers, Johnson Bo, said government should act swiftly to sanitize the system in order to preserve the country's education space.
I want to draw the attention of government to examine the kind of schools and the product that they are churning up, whether it is good for our country. Research has been conducted. We first thought they were doing well, but we realized no, they were not doing well. So let the government, the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Education Service set in. The Inspectorate Division under the Ministry of Education should set in and make sure that standard is complied with. And I was talking about the fact that there is no regulation, no binding establishment of schools. So anyone stand out, because the public schools are not there, the way is open for anyone to want to make money. They use of privatization, they commoditize education. Privatization, they want profit. No one set a school without the aim of making profit.
It's hoped that with all the concerns raised by the various actors in the education space with regards to quality in education, the government would act soon to address their concerns. For City News, reporting at the Nat Hall here in Accra, my name is Michael Ogoju.
Also watching the City Newsroom live on City TV. Coming up, UNDP charges Ghana to strictly phase out the use of mercury in the country. We've got more after this break. Don't go anywhere.
For regular news checks as they unfold. 2020 news, all day, all the time. Politics, sports, entertainment, business, and more. 2020 news. We bring you the world in 20 minutes.
And that's all the news in 20 minutes.
Every Thursday night on City TV, you're welcome to join women from different backgrounds and opinions as they weigh in on your relationship issues. Watch Sister Sister as the ladies get real with issues about love, marriage, betrayal, sex, dating, trust, finances, and more.
And his goals and aims and ambitions, including like marital life or children. You should know that from the beginning. And when you have a deep conversation, you should be able to sense the vibe or the energy, but you should have that conversation so that you know what you're going in for. And then you advise yourself upon what you want and what the person wants.
Join Jessica and her sisters for City TV's all-women talk show, Sister Sister, every Thursday at 9 p.m.
Hello again. Over 300 registered mental health nursing candidates partook in an online licensing exam for nurses and midwives which began today. According to the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Ghana, the exam forms part of measures to get nurses and midwives to maintain high standards. The new online system is to ease the laborious processes associated with the manual system as well as strengthen the capacity of the council. There is more in this report filed by City News' Philip Nilati.
A total of 374 mental health nursing candidates are taking part in the September 2018 online licensing examination. The 374 comprise of 12 from College of Health Science, Yendi, 97 from Pantine Nursing Training College, and 265 from Ankerford Nursing Training College in Cape Coast. With the implementation of the online licensing examination for nursing and midwifery trainees, Ghana becomes the first in West Africa to conduct such an exams. Speaking to the media after visiting the examination center, Minister of Health Kweku Agyeman says the online examination will result in significant cost saving.
This time round, everything is computerized. So printing examinations and hiring security people to check on printers so that questions don't leak will all be a matter of the past. So the examiners will put their own questions on the computers, and then the technical people will pick them up and process them for writing. That means that even the marking will be done electronically. Exactly. And then the recording and the processing and the results will all be done paperless, electronically for us. The system will help to completely automate the old manual procedure of conducting examinations through a web-based online examination software. This system is set in such a way that it will auto-grade itself. As per the service center of the council, it is required that licensing examination results are released within 70 working days of completion of the exams. With this new innovation, examination results are expected to be released within 20 working days.
In support of the project, the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, through the capacity building program Needs of NAFIC, has since 2014 awarded a total grant of 6 billion cedis, equivalent to over 1 million euros.
The amount to which we support this is about 6 million cedis. It is 1.1 million euros. In total, of course, and that was used for the implementation, the cooperation of, I would say, the NMC itself, of course, a Dutch agency and consultancy company, Sinop, which has been working very hard on this program, and then, of course, the KNUST, the university, of course, which has helped us a lot as well.
The Nursing and Midwifery Council of Ghana says the licensing examination, which has begun with the registered mental health nursing candidates, will be followed by 3 other examinations within the period of 4 years.
And 2 at a time. So we started with the smallest group amongst the 4, and that is the mental health nursing group. So next year we are rolling on board the registered community health nursing group. Then the following year registered midwifery group, and then the last year, registered general nurse. And in the last year, we are bringing on board the nurse assistant group as well.
Some of the candidates spoke to City News about their preparedness for the licensing examination.
It was okay, it was powerful, manageable, because we've done at least 2 trial mocks already, so it was okay for us.
For me, it was very okay, just that the internet, we have a little bit difficult. When you press on the next one, it takes a little time before it comes.
Oh, it went well, it was okay, and we were able to finish on time, so that was okay.
So these students just finished their first online examination, which is Principles and Practice of Psychiatric Nursing. They are slated to continue with 2 more papers. For City News, Philip Nilate.
Now with some other news. The United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, has tasked Ghana to strictly work to phase out the use of mercury in the country. This was contained in the 2017 Ghana's Minamata Initial Assessment Report.
The Minamata Convention on Mercury, to which Ghana is a signatory, is a global treaty to protect human health and the environment from the adverse effects of mercury. Among others, the report also recommended that Ghana strictly monitor the use of mercury and other mercury-related equipment at our hospitals. And there is more in this report.
After signing on to the convention on March 23, 2017, the country had to be assessed on the frequent use of mercury, hence Ghana's Minamata Initial Assessment MIA report. The MIA report also aims to provide understanding of existing institutional framework on mercury management and the sources of mercury releases into the environment by all sectors in Ghana. It recommends actions to be taken in phasing down in reducing mercury usage to ensure Ghana's compliance with the Minamata Convention. At the presentation of the report, the project coordinator for the Minamata Initial Assessment Project, Dr. Sam Edukumi, outlined some of the recommendations in the report.
We have highlighted 5 priority areas. These are, if I will read to you, development legal framework. You know, we have a mercury law which is old, so it doesn't talk about the convention. So we have to revise or do a new regulation, that is another law on mercury, so that it can meet the obligation of the convention. The second is about phase out of use of mercury in mercury added products. You know, for so many years ago, we know that some creams were containing mercury. Now, virtually they are not there. But because our borders are porous, we are not so sure. So let's deal with the issue as well. If there are, find them and then, take them out of the system. And also in the health sector, as I said, we are going to withdraw thermometers and other equipment that contains mercury, and then bring in the digital ones or the mercury-friendly ones. Sorry, the environmental-friendly ones. And also, we want to reduce and, where feasible, eliminate the use of mercury in ASGM. That's one major factor, because that's the number one where we saw from the report. And finally, the waste must be managed in an environmental sound manner. So that's where we're going to engage ourselves.
The United Nations Development Programme is tasked to ensure that Ghana complies with the convention. Assistant Country Director of UNDP, Louis Kupen, gives an assessment of monitoring agencies in charge of enforcing these laws.
In terms of their monitoring, they do well by ensuring that they decentralize their visibility at the regional and district level, and they also ensure that they go to the field. But we all know that sometimes there are challenges in terms of logistics and all those things. But by and large, I think there is a lot of commitment towards ensuring that they enforce and ensure that they do this monitoring effectively and efficiently.
The Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovations, Professor Frimpong Boateng, who received the report on behalf of government, underscored the importance of the report. He also assured government will implement the recommendation in the report.
And so this report is about looking at the various sources of mercury poisoning in Ghana and artisanal gold mining, open refuse burning, the use of mercury in health institutions and in certain measuring equipment. These are the source of mercury poisoning. So we are going to devise means of reducing it and also replacing mercury where it can be replaced, for example in mining.
So this is a report that is going to help us know the sources, how to deal with the extent of poisoning, how to deal with it, and find a replacement for mercury.
People living in Ghana's mining communities may now be better protected from deadly mercury poisoning. Kojo Ajiman reporting for City News.
President Akufo-Addo says adequate measures have been put in place for the full rollout of the double-track system under the free senior high school policy this month.
The system, which has been adopted by government to address the large number of students who will be admitted into senior high school this year, has been described as an innovative educational idea to increase accessibility. The president was addressing the Ghanaian community in China during his recent visit there.
At a well-attended event in Beijing, President Akufo-Addo assured the Ghanaian community that government is on track as far as the management of the country's resources are concerned. On his government flagship program, the Free SHS, Nana Akufo-Addo says the new double-track system, which is expected to roll out this month, is meant to cater for the spike in enrollment into senior high schools due to the Free SHS policy. The full implementation of the new system, he says, is expected to cost government 323 million cedis with the objective to create room for accommodation for all students, reduce class size, increase contact hours, and increase the number of holidays. Nana Akufo-Addo says government has prepared enough for the rollout of the system.
It's new. It's new for us. It's not new in many other parts of the world, but it's new in Ghana. We recognize it. But we believe that if we're going to be able to maintain the very important commitment of making sure that every Ghanaian child, no matter where they're born, no matter the circumstances of their parents' life, whether they have money or don't have money, will have access to senior high school education. For me, it is absolutely critical that we maintain that commitment and make the provisions that will allow that to happen. That is the only way we can prepare our country to be able to compete in the 21st century, to make sure that the Ghanaian population is properly educated. So we are on it.
On the issue of Galamsey, also known as illegal mining, President Akufo-Addo says he has a blessing of his Chinese counterpart, President Xi Jinping, to prosecute any Chinese national court breaching the laws of Ghana.
You drive through Ghana, the Ankobra, the this. The Achem people, Achem go on Numbrim. You can't do Numbrim anymore. The Numbrim is now a dirty track of water. There is no future if we continue down that road. And together we have to stop it. Unfortunately for us, again, there are foreigners who are praying and acting in this area. Some of them come from here. My meeting with the President Xi Jinping yesterday, I said it to him quite frankly that we have this situation and there are many of his compatriots who are involved in this exercise. And I want him to understand that when the law enforcement agencies in Ghana act against them, we're not acting against Chinese. There's no anti-Chinese policy in Ghana. We don't have any hatred or dislike or anything. On the contrary, we've welcomed Chinese investment in our economy. China today is the largest trading partner of Ghana. They've changed some fundamental statistics. The old days where it was our former colonial powers that had the monopoly of our trade is gone. Today, China is our largest trading partner. China has made very important, significant contributions to the development of our infrastructure and to the growth of our economy. So we can have no quarrel with Chinese presence in Ghana, and we don't.